What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place so we could get a nice and neat canvas. I want to do a Q&A video soon, so drop any questions down below in the comments. Now we're going to separate the top of the hair from the sides. Starting off with our gold FX, we're going to create our first guideline, contouring to his head shape. You also want to make sure not to press too hard here, because then you're going to have a harder line to take out. Now we're going to use our gold FX to completely ball them out and make sure everything's nice and neat. Don't be afraid to use your opposite hands to stretch the skin when needed. Now that we're done balding them out, we could then move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. Once we're done setting in our second guideline, we could then slightly close the lever midway and all the way closed and attack that initial guideline. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below on the Instagram. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we could then move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. As you guys can see here, I'm using my comb to help us feed the hair into the clipper. We're also going to use this same guard to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done with the lower guards, we could then move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. We're also using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper here, especially when it gets to longer hair. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we could then move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Again, I got a Q&A video coming up, so I want to make sure you guys leave some questions down below in the comments so I can answer them. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using these corners would definitely help. Now with our 3 guard all the way open, we're going to use our comb to feed the hair into the clipper, and this is going to help us finish off our silhouette. Now that we're done with our 3 guard all the way open, I'm going to go back to my 2 guard all the way open and try to blend out that guideline between those 2 guards. Now that we're done using our guards, we are now moving on to our clipper over comb method, and we're going to use our horizontal cuts to make sure we debulk as much as possible. And remember, when I'm using my vertical cuts, I'm using it to blend. Now that we're done fading up the sides, we can move on to his front line and use our gold FX to start off at the middle and work our way to the sides. When lining up the vertical bars, you want to keep them as natural as possible. You don't want to make the angle too exaggerated. Also, when you're lining up the C-cups, I always like to start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. I just feel like that's the most accurate way possible. Now that we're done lining up our C-cup, we can move on to the other side. Always make sure to go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. As you guys can see, this is a natural lining. I'm making sure I don't push the C cups back. I'm making sure they also match. As you guys can see, I'm going back and forth. Now that we're done lining them up, we can then move on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. When using your razor, you always want to keep it at a 45-degree angle and also stretch the skin with your opposite hand as much as possible. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below on the Instagram. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a high taper on my boy, so stay tuned. We're gonna start off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure everything's nice and neat. This is gonna help us get the true length of the hair when using our shears. Now that we're done saturating the hair, we could then create a guideline throughout the middle of the capitis using our shears. As you guys can see here, I'm then connecting that same guideline that we made at the top of the capitis to the side. I'm going to be uploading a Q&A video soon, so make sure you guys ask questions down below in the comments. Now that we're done cutting the top, we could then move on to the back taper and use our Goat FX to create our first guideline. You also want to make sure you're not pressing too hard with your trimmers, because then you're going to make a very hard guideline that's going to be hard to take out. Now that we're done botting them out, we could then move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Now that we're done setting in the guideline, we're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we could then move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Remember, we're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below in the Instagram. Now that we're done softening up that line with our 1 guard and its lever, we could then move on to our half guard, and then we're going to try to erase the line completely using this guard. Now that we're done erasing our third guideline, we could then move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. As you guys can see, I'm using my comb to feed the hair into the clipper, and I'm flicking out as much as possible with my guard. Now that we're done creating our fourth guideline with our 2 guard all the way open, we could then move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using its corners would definitely help. Now that we're done with our fourth guideline, we're then going to use our 3 guard all the way open, and this is going to help us blend into the top bulk. Remember, we're also using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper as much as possible. Now we're moving on to our clipper over comb method, and we're going to pick up the hair with our comb, angling it at a certain angle, and then cutting it with our cutting blade. Now we're using our foreguard all the way open to flick out as much as possible and redefine any areas I gotta take out. Here, as you guys can see, I'm detailing as much as possible, and I'm also debulking as much as possible. Now that we're done detailing the back taper, we could then move on to our Go to effects and line up the side of the neck. Now that we're done lining up the bottom of the side neck, we're then going to move on to the first guideline of our high taper. Now that we're done boning them out, we're going to then switch over to our no guard all the way open, creating our second guideline. Now that we're done setting in this guideline, we're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way closed and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we're then going to move on to our one guard all the way open, creating our third guideline. Remember, we're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. As you guys can see, I'm switching over to the half guard and I'm using the corners and the lever to erase the line completely. After debulking with our clip removal comb method, we're then going to switch over to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. Now that we're done setting in our fourth guideline, we're then going to switch over to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Now we're using clip removal comb to continue to debulk and make the fade as smooth as possible. Now we're going to rezoom the side of the neck. We only finished lining up the bottom and now we're lining up the top. I always like to go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. Now we're moving on to the sideburns of the beard, and we're using our no guard all the way open to create our second guideline. Now we're moving on to our one guard all the way open to create our third guideline, and then we're going to finish it off with our 1.5 guard. Before we line him up, we're going to debulk his hairline with our 1.5 guard all the way open. Now that we cut all of the clutter out of the way, we could then use our gold FX to line them up and make them as crispy as possible. I always start off at the middle and work my way to the side, staying as consistent as I can. Remember to be very careful when lining up the quarters. You don't want to push them back too much. Also remember not to press too hard because you could bite them with the teeth of the trimmer, especially when you're lining up a certain area multiple times. Now that we're done lining him up in the front, we're then going to move on to the beard, and we're going to stay as consistent as possible. Now that we're done with lining up his beard, we could then move on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades and make him as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to apply some shave gel so that the razor could glide better. When using the razor, you always want to make sure you keep a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below in the Instagram.